Okay, so today I want to install cruise control. So I have the cruise control button installed in my car. But if you look here, I'll press the button and nothing's coming up. So if I had cruise control activated, you'd see cruise come up here. Even though I'm not currently driving, it would still come up there. As well as that, for the trip computer, you can see there is none. It's just DSTC on, and that's it. Just to show that I'm going through it. That was all. So I'm going to put on the extended trip computer and I'm going to install cruise control. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to have to take out the CEM, which is in the footwell over here. And before doing that, take out the battery. I'm not going to film that. There's plenty of videos online about cleaning the SEM and such where they show how to take out the SEM. The only bit of advice I'd say is be very careful. They're old cars now and the plastic is quite brittle. Just don't snap any of the connectors. So with the SEM out, there is 3 screws to remove. And then there's tabs all along the edges here. The easiest way to remove these is just get a couple of flat knives and gently prise your way all the way around before lifting off the top cover. Tools you're going to need. So first of all, you'll need a programmer capable of reading a Freescale MC9 S12 secured chip. I'm using in Xprog. I have actually downgraded to the 5.51 version as I just found it most stable. You'll need the little attachment that comes with it, and you'll need to make up a wire as well. The diagram for this wire is on Xprog. Other programmers might not need this wire, but if you're using Xprog, you need to make up this wire. You need a screwdriver just to remove the screws. You need just some flat blades just to prise out the tabs to open up the CEM. And lastly, you'll need a soldering iron just to solder onto the connections on the CEM. You also need a 10mm spanner just to disconnect the battery before you remove them from the car. With the lid removed from this angle, you can see 2 processors or chips. So it's important to read the number on the chip here. You can see it. So it's MC9 S12 XDT, and it is 1L15Y is the mask number. So for changing configurations, it is the one here on the right hand side that concerns us. And you can see the points here where you'll be soldering onto. I'll put a better diagram on screen now. Okay, so all the connections are now made. So plug the Xbox into your laptop. Open Xprog. Put the device is connected. I need to connect to MCU, Freescale 9S1D secured, XDT 384 flash. That's what I'm looking for. As you can see, supported mask is here. If you're looking for the diagrams or how to make up the wire, that is described here. There is no need to lift the pin in this case. You can read it fine without it. Select OK. And go to New. And read. There you go. Now it's starting to read. Give it a minute and just don't touch it. I would highly recommend reading both MCUs before writing anything back to the computer or writing anything back to the chips, just to make sure you have a full backup. Once your read is finished, just need to save it, and to do so, you have just go up here and click save. I've already done so. Now I've saved it here on my desktop. So I've just called it V50 Right Flash. Now this is the binary file, and for this I use HXD. It's just a hex editor that's I find quite useful. Just going to turn on my light on my phone, it might be easier. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to display on my other laptop here. I have an Excel sheet of all the configurations. And I will also post a link to this. So on my SEM, it is at location 178100 is where it starts. And that starting bit is always going to be an 8C. And the following, sorry, not bit, but byte is 8C. The following is going to be your checksum byte. So to go here, I'm going to search, go to 0017810. And it brings me here. So you can see this block is fairly distinctive. It's pretty much all ones and 01s, 02s, 03s and such. As you can see, it will start with an 8C. If you have a different SEM to mine, it may be at a different location, but an easy way to find it is your VIN number will be up here. And this is your manufacturing date. One of these, I believe, is like the manufacturer or the factory is manufactured in. So if you search for your VIN number within the bin file, you'll find it just following it down here. And again, it will always start with 8C. And then this part here, this byte here, is the checksum. And to calculate that checksum, which we'll be doing again later, you can see if you highlight all the following data up until FF, until a big row of FFs, go to analysis, checksums, and it's going to be the checksum 8. Calculate it, and you'll see that says 39, which is correct. Now, as I already mentioned, I want to activate cruise control in this car. So if you look here on my document, location 178108 is the cruise control byte, 01 is off, 02 is on, and 03 is adaptive. So I want to activate it, so I'm going to change to 02. I believe you need extra equipment if you want adaptive, so I'm just not going to use that one. So 178108. So we go to 178108. And if you go down here, you can see, yes, indeed, that says 1. Let's change that to a 2. And I also want to change the trip computer. You can see here that's its location, 178119. 01 is no, 02 is standard, and 03 is extended. So you don't need to add anything for this to activate it. So I'm going to go for the extended option here. So 178119, 178119, you go 119, and I'm going to change that to a 3. Now, if you just wrote this back to your car will not start because it will fail the checksum. So you need to recalculate this checksum here. So highlight all the data after the checksum byte and refresh that checksum. You'll see it says now 3C. So I'm going to change that to C. Yeah, and that's all you need to do. So I just need to rewrite this back to my SEM, install it in the car, and cruise control and the trip computer will be activated. So I'm going to just say file, save as, my flash, cruise control, and trip comp. So now if you open up Xprog again and open the new file, oh, I made one mistake here. See, it's not saved as a bin file. I forgot you have to, with HXD, you just have to type .bin afterwards to save it as a bin file. So now, open V50 comp and make sure all your connections are good and tight again. Just no loose wires, plugged in, and right. Writing is much slower than reading, so just leave it. It's going to take about 5 minutes. Just leave it. Again, do not touch anything and just wait for the computer to finish it itself. Writing is complete. Just need to desolder these wires and install it back in the car. Okay, so it's the next day. I reinstalled the SEM in the car. I've reconnected the battery, and I've actually been driving around a bit just before filming this. But just to show that the configurations now have changed, if I use the dial here to go through my trip computer, you can see now that I have my range, I have my fuel economy on average, my current fuel or instantaneous fuel economy, my average speed, and my current speed. As well as that now, if I press cruise, you can see cruise comes up there on the dash. So they're both activated, both working. I've tested it, both work fine. And yep, that's it. So using this method, you can change all the configurations in your car. You can say, for example, in this car, I've already installed a trailer module. I've installed parking sensors. Now, some things aren't quite as easy. Say for cruise control, if you don't have it, you'll have to install the buttons. For trip computer, it's one of the easiest because you don't need to actually install anything else. I've previously installed DRLs on another car as well, but you do need to change your switch and obviously install the actual DRL lights themselves. Other things you can change, you can add Bluetooth, like stock factory Bluetooth. You can add what you call it, telephone functions, hands-free telephone function. You can install power mirrors, but of course, to do that, you're going to actually need to have power mirrors also, as in fit power mirrors and the power mirror compatible switch. So pretty much all functions you can change with it. Just take note that you will need to install actual physical hardware as well with most things. And yeah, so that's it. Any questions, just leave them below in the comments and I'll try and answer as many of you have.